Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Origin by Ava DuVernay. A movie that just seems to be her ideology. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 12. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. I've watched the trailer twice. I can't tell you what the movie's about. I really can't. It just seems to be... I don't know. She says something in the trailer like, we are all interconnected. It appears to be based on a book that doesn't sound like a book that's a narrative. Cast the origins of our discontents. Inspired by the New York Times bestseller. And so it's inspired by the New York Times bestseller, so is it even really about that? It doesn't sound like a narrative. You know, she's going to India. Scenes take place in the past, in a field with an old-timey truck. Guys saluting the bad guy from Germany. Ends on her, the main character, just kind of going... Are we supposed to know what's happening? Shane from The Punisher and Walking Dead is in it. Nick Offerman's in it. That's about it. I mean, look. If this is supposed to be about the human condition, and it claims to be... Here, I'll read you the synopsis. I had to go to the synopsis on the IMDb, where it says origins, plural, instead of origin. Original title is Origin. I guess they changed the title. Here's the synopsis. Now you tell me if this sounds like a synopsis for a movie. The unspoken system that has shaped America and chronicles the lives today are defined by a hierarchy of human division. Now, does that sound like a plot? That's not a plot. The unspoken system that has shaped America and chronicles how lives today are defined by a hierarchy of human division. That's not a plot. That is a statement. I guess it's a grammatically correct sentence, but it's not a plot. A plot is something happens to a character, and then they go on a journey, and then they change, and then there's a resolution in the third act, and something is learned. Now, judging by what Ava has produced in the past, it's all been very much about racial division. So I assume this is about racial divisions when she says divisions. It's a little disingenuous, I think, if that's the case, to not mention racial division specifically, but okay. Maybe it's about the hierarchies of humans, in which case, if you're going to do that, shouldn't you go back in time more than, say, less than 100 years, which that's about as far back as it goes, maybe the 40s, maybe 100 years. I mean, there's a truck in it in the flashback. Shouldn't you go back throughout all human history if it's that important a subject? If you truly believe we're defined and divided by hierarchies, hierarchies took thousands and thousands of years to develop. They've always been with us. They always will be with us. Some kind of hierarchy. So what are you even saying? Yeah, there's hierarchies. There's division. There are humans. That's not a plot. The scenes don't add up to anything. It's just a bunch of scenes of disparate people that I don't know. I barely picked out Shane in the opening shot. There he is with hair. I assume that's her boyfriend or husband or whatever. And then there's things through time. There's a scene in India. There's this guy. He seems to be getting a back massage or something. What is this movie? If it's going to be a lecture, it shouldn't be a narrative. If you're going to tell people about facts, if you have facts, then you should do a documentary, right? It should be a documentary taking you through the ideology that she believes, and then not even pretending to entertain people, but to take you through an educational journey. And people like documentaries, so there's no shame in making a documentary if you have something important to say. But if you're going to make a narrative, you have to entertain people. There has to be a story, whether it's a drama, a comedy, action. There's no action in this, so I assume you're trying to go for a dramedy, or a drama, maybe a romance, because Shane kisses her in the beginning. She seems very stressed out. Origin, the title says nothing. It's very basic. Judging from Ava's other work, the thing that I know the best is Naomi, because it was a superhero thing, a superhero TV show. Super woke superhero in the DC universe, a young black girl who gains superpowers. And it seemed like she just put out that show to go, see? Black girl with superpowers. That's not enough either. There have been other superpowers, other black girls with superpowers, and they have a story besides just having superpowers. It feels like she just brings up her ideology and expects you to go, aha, genius. And I guess somebody's saying that behind the scenes because she continues to get funding for things, but what is this? Can anybody watch this trailer and tell me what it's supposed to be? How does this entice anybody to see it? Even if you believe Ava and her ideology, such that it is, perhaps that everything's racist and we live in a hierarchy and other commie gobbledygook. Perhaps you believe in that. Okay. Does this even tell you that in the trailer? Doesn't tell me anything. It's got some Academy Award winning people in it. But what are they there for? Who the hell are they? They're not playing themselves, I assume. So, at least tell us who they are, what their names are, what the hell they're doing. You know, I just watched the trailer for Ferrari, and there's almost no dialogue in it. But that's a biopic about a very famous guy, and we know what that's going to be. It's going to be the rise and fall of Ferrari. And at the end, Adam Driver says, when you get in my car, you get into we. And that says a lot about his character. This doesn't say anything about her. First off, we don't know who she is. You have to tell us who she is. If this is going to be about the human condition, it might not even matter who she is. In which case, you're going to have to show us a lot about the human condition. You know, if you're going to attack patriarchy, hierarchy, racism, you're going to have to go back more than 100 years. You're going to have to go back thousands of years and really detail something. Even in a narrative. A voiceover would have helped. Big time. But would I see it? What would I even be seeing if I saw it? It just feels like a bunch of ideological gobbledygook. Not even well known to the filmmaker. If you're going to do this, do it right. Give us a story. Give us a story about, I don't know, whatever you believe. Show us the characters and their suffering. She's breathing. She looks a little stressed out. About what? You had a minute and a half to tell me something, and all I know is it's just going to be another Ava project, I guess. There was more in Naomi, and that show was pretty woke and pretty bad. So I don't know why you put this out. It feels unfinished. It feels like, we got a bunch of scenes, just throw them out there, and people think we're important. Like, you gotta do the basics. You gotta do the basics. At least tell us who Shane and your main character are, and why they're together. There's got to be some event she's going to. Even if you had just a couple of lines like, "Oh, I'm really nervous about the concert tonight." Okay, then we know it's about a concert and she has to go there or whatever. I'm really nervous about the networking party I have to do with the other, I don't know, CEOs or whatever. Something. You're not being subtle by not telling us anything. That's not a way to be subtle. You can't just go, well, we didn't tell you anything. Now here's the movie. See? You didn't expect that. Yeah, I don't expect anything because I don't know anything. That's not clever. You need to tell us something. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for a more base takes. If you can find a more base take than that, I say take it. I'll be at the Chemung Diner on Saturday from 9 to 2. It's going to be a nice day. Plus, we'll be in the diner. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.